The movie star method for writing a book. How anyone can go from blank page to published author in 6 weeks or less. Yes, it really is possible to write your book in 6 weeks or less. I know 6 weeks sounds pretty ludicrous to most people, yet I have a client who actually created his last book in a single day. Wrap your head around that one. And no, that wasn't like a 25-page whatever that you see some of these people trying to pass off. That was actually like a real book. It's 100 pages. Yeah, it's crazy. I haven't accomplished that yet, but I'm just saying that so that you know what is possible. Most of the clients I work with finish in about 4 weeks. When we start the process, many of my clients are skeptical, to be sure. They feel it's going to be too hard and too laborious. Or they think they're not a good writer and it's going to suck. And perhaps this is what's going through your mind right now as well. The great news for you is that there are much more effective ways to get your expertise out of your noggin and onto the page other than you just pecking away at the keyboard one key at a time. And the most surefire way is the movie star method of writing books. My clients who have gone through this process are able to finish the first draft of their book in less than 2 weeks. And they are able to do that without investing more than 10 hours of their own personal time during the entire process. I am sure that as a successful entrepreneur, parent, or hobbyist, you may be thinking, there's no way I have enough time to write a book. Yet have you ever wondered how someone who is always on set making a movie finds the time to write and publish a book? Or someone who runs a country, after all? I mean, they're running a country. When do they have the time to write? It's simple. They have knowledge, interesting stories, and experience in what they're doing. They want to share their unique perspective about the world in a way that will outlive them, but how do they do it? Well, here's the secret. Rather than sitting down in front of a blank computer screen and typing, they simply hire someone to interview them. The process works like this. Step 1, the author is interviewed. Step 2, those interviews are transcribed. Step 3, transcriptions are sent to an editor who cleans them up. Step 4, edited manuscript is organized and outlined into a logical flow. Step 5, second edit for grammar. Step 6, manuscript sent out to graphic designer to be laid out. Step 7, the book cover is created. And Step 8, they publish. In a nutshell, that's how the majority of famous people get their books written. Take, for example, Arnold Schwarzenegger's book, Total Recall, My Unbelievably True Life Story. In the acknowledgments, he directly states that the book was created from about 50 hours of interviews where Arnold sat down and had a conversation about his life. Now that you know how it works, you're going to follow the same process and be the movie star of your own life. And to make it even easier, I'm going to share a few different ways for you to structure your book since this is not a one-size-fits-all system. You just simply find the approach that works the best for you and then do that. The idea here is to keep it as easy and simple as possible. Rapid writing method number 1, one problem, one solution. The first way to write a book quickly and easily is to follow the one problem, one solution process. First, take some time to brainstorm the struggles that your customers face. A great way to keep yourself focused is to start with the title of your book. A quick technique you can use is the guidebook technique. For example, complete guide to blank. So if you're a real estate agent, you could create a complete guide to buying your first home, or a complete guide to selling your house in a slow market. If you're a dentist, you could write the complete guide to all natural tooth care. Now, just take that problem and break it into 3 or 4 core problems. Each one of these will be your chapters. For the real estate agent in the first-time homebuyer guide, you could have Chapter 1, 10 things every first-time homebuyer absolutely has to know. Chapter 2, how to find the perfect mortgage for your unique situation. Chapter 3, ninja negotiation strategies that ensure you get the best price. Chapter 4, the top 5 traps to look for when viewing a home, etc., etc. These are usually all the things that you are personally aware of and are familiar with when it comes to that problem. Now, when outlining chapters, just answer questions that you or your product or service solves. For example, what are the common obstacles that prevent customers from achieving the outcome they want? Lack of knowledge, lack of the right tools, poor mindset. What are the most common fears that customers have when striving for the outcome they want? For example, failing, being embarrassed, losing money. What common misinformation might be holding your customer back? What are some of the unknown obstacles or pitfalls they need to be aware of? What do you know as the expert that they do not? Rapid writing method number 2, the answer to all your questions. If you deal with clients directly, then I'm sure you get asked questions all the time, and many of them are probably the same question over and over again. There's even a term for it, frequently asked questions. Yet ask yourself, how much time do you waste answering these same questions again and again? What if there was a way you could answer all of those frequently asked questions just once, so you can get right into the business of serving your customer? Lucky for you, there is. Step 1, set a timer for 20 minutes. Step 2, turn off all distractions. Shut down your internet browsers, turn off your Facebook Messenger, and put your phone on silent for a bit so it's not pinging you. You want to be totally focused on this one task for 20 minutes. Step 3, start the timer, and for 20 minutes, just write down all of the most frequently asked questions that you get asked in your business. Don't edit and don't censor yourself. Just write down as many as you can think of in 20 minutes. At the end of 20 minutes, stop. Get up, walk around for 5 or 10 minutes, get a drink of water, etc. After your short break, come back, set the timer for another 20 minutes, and then repeat the process again. Repeat this process for as many times as you can until you just can't think of any more frequently asked questions to write down. At first, you may have only 30 questions. However, the more times you do this, the more you are going to come up with. I've had clients who have gotten as many as 200 questions after only 2 writing sessions. Another thing you can do is to take your list and show it to your staff. Ask them if there are any questions that your customers ask that aren't on that list. Have them write them down and then add those to the questions you already have. And for many of my clients, when they do this process, they're actually surprised at the types of questions that they're getting that they were completely unaware of. Now, once you're finished, you'll repeat the exercise, only this time you're going to write down all of the should ask questions. These are all of those things that your customer doesn't know that they don't know. If you're a real estate agent and you're dealing with a first-time home buyer, they may ask you all of the standard questions they found online about square footage, the year the house was built, cost of utilities, etc. Yet, what they really should be asking you are detailed questions. Things like, what types of materials were used in building the house? Has the house ever had any water damage? How old is the roof? All that sorts of stuff. So write all that down. Now that you have your 2 lists, go through and organize the questions into groups that relate to each other. Now, just sticking with the real estate agent example, you may have a dozen or more questions that are just about financing a home or how to sell a house quickly or things that new home buyers should look out for. By organizing similar questions together, you are forming a basic outline for your book. Rapid writing method number 3, I don't have a lot of time method. This is the fastest method for getting your book created. It does have the downside of possibly creating a book with the least amount of your voice in it, though, so you just gauge on which of these methods seems the best for you. And here's how this one works. Step 1, write down 10 topics or areas about your business. If you're a dentist, for example, some of these topics could be teeth cleaning, teeth whitening, braces versus Invisalign, toothpaste, types of toothpaste, which is better, toothbrushes, floss types, etc. Step 2, write 10 facts about each one of those topics. Step 3 is to write 1 sentence about each one of those facts. So you got that? You have 10 topics. Each topic has 10 facts. Each fact has 1 sentence. With that, you've just created an outline for your book. Each of the 10 topics is a chapter, and underneath each chapter there are 10 facts. Each one of those facts is a subhead of the chapter, and you have the first sentence for each fact, right? I know, I'm repeating myself here, but just hang on. Hang with me here. Step 4, send this outline to a ghostwriter and have them fill in the rest of the book. Since you've already written the first sentence for each subheading, the ghostwriter is going to know exactly what they need to write about. So you've got the topics, you've got the facts, and you've got a paragraph to get them started. With a little research, a decent ghostwriter will be able to fill in all of the rest and you'll have a book. Now, the other advantage to doing this is that you're going to save a tremendous amount of money on your ghostwriter because your ghostwriter isn't having to be completely, totally creative in something they probably don't know anything about anyway. So, right now, just take a minute to think about how many topics you have in your business and how many books could you create from just that alone. You'll soon see that you have more than 1 book worth of experience and expertise to share. Now you just have to get all of your knowledge out and onto the page.